I was really excited to hop on and make some stuff. I was gonna make things anyway, so I figured I might as well make things while chatting with all of you. So here I am, and yeah, this is gonna be pretty chill, and I'm excited to just kind of hang out and make some things with all of you. So let's see if I move my, there you go. I want you to be able to see a little bit of what I'm doing. Let's see here. Hi. Hello, I'm Lauren. You can call me Ren if you want to. Most of the people who follow me here have been watching me on YouTube for a super long time, and so it may have been a while since I've seen you. I used to post on YouTube a lot more often than I do now, and these days I post on Instagram more often, so if you want to follow me over there, I'm Lauren Fair WX on Instagram. But I also have started an Instagram page for these little plush dolls that I'm going to be making today. At the moment, I am in the part of the process where I add little faces onto them, and I'm going to probably be stuffing them today as well, so that'll be fun. This is when they start to come to life a little bit. The last time I did this, I was just cutting out fabric the whole stream because it takes a long time, all these different steps. So I'm working my way through the process, and I'm excited to have you here with me. So if you want to say hi in the comments, feel free. I can answer questions, we can hang out, see how all of you are doing. And yeah, that's what I'm up to today. Probably gonna be, I don't know, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, see how we're feeling. But yeah, just so we can spend some time together. And so these little guys, I've been making plush dolls for a really long time, and you'd see from on my channel that they've come a long way. They have like, I mean, obviously when you start working on something crafty or creative, there's a lot of room for growth, and I've been doing this for a long time, so they've kind of grown and changed with me, and lately I've been kind of redoing all of my designs to be in some cases a little more complicated, and in other cases just more my style these days. And so it's been kind of fun to see, like when I go and look back at what they looked like 10 years ago, 14 years ago actually, I think was when I started the Etsy shop or initially. So it's been a while that I've been making these, and yeah, it's pretty fun. They're pretty fun to make. They do take a little while. Yeah, I started using these little safety eyes about a year ago, and I initially, when I started making plush art, I really wanted to try and make it so that anybody could use them, anybody could have them, that they wouldn't have any small pieces. And safety eyes say that they're safety eyes, but I'm always a little bit concerned about like people being able to remove them just because they are handmade. So while the actual mechanism that snaps them on might not come undone, I don't know if, like, you know, if you give it to a dog or something like that, if the whole thing would come apart, and then it could potentially be dangerous. So one of the choices I made when I started redoing my designs a couple years ago was to kind of, instead of just making them for everybody, babies, animals, adults, etc., children, I decided to kind of prioritize the designs instead. And so now I have like a little warning on them that they're, you know, some of them have little charms and beads and small pieces attached to them. So you may not want to give them to somebody who would eat those things. But it kind of feels more like the kind of art I want to be making. So a little bit of a trade-off, but it's always a thing that I can try again in the future. I could also make them custom, like if you wanted to give it to somebody who you were concerned about the small pieces with, you could reach out to me, and then I could, I don't know, make a version of it with felt and embroidered eyes instead of the safety eyes, and other little things that I add to them. I have, these ones are on the less complicated side, but I have some ones that are a lot more involved that have like lots of little pieces on them, lots of cute little things. Boop. So that one has a little face now. The faces eventually will get sewn on, but I like to stuff the little guys before I do any kind of embroidery or like major sewing on the outside because I don't always know where the face is gonna sit. And I want to make sure that when it becomes three-dimensional that it's still kind of holding its shape and doing what I want it to do. Because when they go from being two-dimensional to three-dimensional, sometimes unpredictable things happen. There we go. I'm using an awl to punch little holes in the body fabric to attach this little guy onto there, and then I am putting the backings inside of the plush doll. And that's also new for me, process-wise, because I used to kind of attach all of the pieces that would go on the face onto these little heart shapes, and then once the whole plushie was sewn up and put together and ready to go, then I would sew the face on last. And so this is kind of, I've been modifying my process a little bit to try and improve my work, make it a little bit more advanced based on how long I've been doing this. Got two more. Oh, thank you. Kay says, my craft room looks super cozy. This is actually my dining room. I moved into a small apartment recently, and I used to have a whole room just for crafting, and in the apartment we don't have space for that. But I don't really eat at a dining room table very often. We are like a sit on the couch and watch a movie with dinner family, because that was always my favorite thing to do as a kid. So we just do it all the time. And yeah, so it's been kind of fun having a craft room instead of a dining room. I use it way more often than I think I would ever use a dining room. So yay. I think we might have a little guest star if they want to come over.
Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. Here, come here. This is my kiddo.
Okay, fine.
Here, the camera's over here.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah, I know. You can see yourself over there and over there. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You didn't guest star the last time I did a live. What made you want to come over and join me today?
IDK.
IK. But yeah, we're having a good time.
Jeez.
What do you think?
Oh.
Let's see.
What are the comments?
Right there. Ashley asked, what are other types of eyes I've done in the past? So normally, before I was doing the safety eyes, I was doing felt eyes instead. And they were pretty much the same shape, same like little cute oval shape, but I would then embroider little like highlights and things on them. And that was fun. But I kind of wanted, I don't know, I kind of liked the way safety eyes looked when I saw other artists making dolls, and so I figured I'd give that a try. These are actually not safety eyes. Fun fact, little secret behind the scenes, they're safety noses that I've turned to the side to get little oval shapes.
I have a friend.
You brought your friend? Oh, Gus!
This is just merch I got from Mark Rober.
Yeah, we're really into Mark Rober these days. Doing a lot of like science-y, YouTube-y things over here. Kind of fun because I grew up doing YouTuber things, and now this one is growing up doing YouTube things. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. Aw, Cass's Sprite lives in her kitchen. Aw, that's a perfect place for them. They're nice and little, so they can you can put them kind of anywhere, which is kind of fun. I like seeing where they live in the wild when people show me where theirs end up. A lot of people keep them on their shelves.
Someone put up a squirrel emoji.
Yeah. Is that fun?
My favorite animals are cats.
Yeah, you like cats? I like cats too, but I also like squirrels. Squirrels are great. I like the way they kind of glide and their little tails.
I'll let him sit over here and watch you guys.
Oh, okay. We have another little guest star. Hello, everybody who's coming in. It's nice to see you all. Yeah, so Kay said, it's great to see your content pop up again. I followed you in the 5AG days. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wild because I've been on the internet kind of sharing
Another
different
friend.
projects. Oh, another friend.
Another friend.
Sharing different projects that I've been doing over the years.
What is this thing called again? I forgot. I
Pygmy
forgot
Puff.
its name. Pygmy Puff?
Yeah.
We added a face. Face.
I love the little tiny face sticking out of all the fluff on that one.
Yeah, and the feet.
The
Gotta
feet.
add the feet.
Yes, they're so little. I love them. But yes, it's always interesting seeing where people found me because I have so many projects that have gone in so many different directions and found different corners of the internet. Nice dance moves. And so it's kind of cool seeing who finds me where. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to hop back on here because I've moved to other platforms more often.
The friends must see.
Even though this is kind of where, one of the places that I started at least. I started on MySpace technically, but YouTube is one of the places that I was posting very early and where I found most of my community out there, all of you folks. So, yeah. Sometimes it's fun to pop back on here and see who I missed, who didn't manage to follow me on other platforms or who doesn't have Instagram and things like that. That's kind of where I've been landing lately.
Just I have a collection of 100 friends.
I love this little rat.
We have more friends, including a rat and
we
a
want
cat.
to leave some space for crafting though. Make sure we leave some space for crafting.
Okay, let's.
I also don't want my matcha to get knocked over. That would be bad. I'm testing fate, having a drink by my computer, so. Shush! Yay! Hi, Katie! Good to see you.
Sorry if this meme is copyright. Shush!
Oh yeah, we had a discussion about copyright and what we can and can't have in the background of my live stream. Very important YouTuber discussions.
This might be copyright, but shush! I have to do the sheesh meme. That's always what I do.
Yeah.
And plus, I can barely see. I need to go get my glasses.
I noticed you were squinting. Why don't you go put your glasses on so you can read the comments too? Because that's kind of my favorite part. I like talking to all you folks out there. So it's.
See, I'm gonna come in like 5.2 seconds.
5.2 seconds. Should we get out the stopwatch? All right. So that was actually pretty quick. We got all of the little faces and eyes attached.
Get the backpack.
Oh, it's over here. It's right over there. Right over there. Yeah. Slightly more chaos in the stream today, but that's okay.
It's not chaos. It's perfect.
Yeah. All right, here. Let me grab here. I gotta move you this way, so I can grab some stuffing, cause we're gonna stuff these little guys. So we're doing a chill stream. Do you think you could chill out with me a little bit? Could have some quiet. Some quiet crafting time.
Every stream has at least a little bit of crazy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Except that I won't make it the entire stream crazy, lol.
Ah. Ooh. Print on demand shirts, Cass. What a good idea. Cass is like my secret business something. Not my assistant because you have your own stuff, but Cass has always given me really good business recommendations. I started making stickers because of Cassidy, actually. Do you want to see them? Do you want to see the stickers? I made them. They're cute. I also need to take product photos of the stickers. Yes, so many unsolicited ideas from Cass, but they're all good unsolicited ideas. And Cassidy is very smart, and so I am very happy to have all of her recommendations. So let's see. Oh, here, so I can show you some more of the things I've been making. I have this little angry one who's, he looks confused actually. I kind of try to make them all have different facial expressions. So like this one's a little sad and this one's really like, what's going on? There's like an eyebrow situation happening. I made these actually last Halloween and sold them at one market and then never again. So, and I had them at my show the other day, but they're ghost plant sprites. They're cute. I have some little like anxious light green ones that are really adorable. And they have little leaves at the top. So yeah, so I have stickers. So 3 of the stickers are leaf sprite and tree sprite themed. This one's, what buddy?
Live stream. Actually, just
Okay.
I can do it all you want. Your live stream.
So this one says Anxious Little Sprout. I've got like little handwriting on the side. And then this one says, You Found Me. And then a little nod to one of the inspirations for these. And then this one is Mad. And it says, Leave me alone. And then this is probably my favorite of the stickers. It says, a lot of crinkly paper happening. Emotional Support Stack of Notebooks. That's one of my favorites. Definitely in my making things that I would want to buy zone right now. And then there's one more.
Actually, Mari, can you please end the live stream? I'm really trying to make a level, so.
You can go hang out in your room and if you want to make more noise. So you don't have to worry about the copyright infringement.
Hear my favorite song playing in my bedroom, definitely.
We might have to go soon, says the assistant over there. And then this one has little scissors on it, and it says Make Creative Magic. That's another favorite one of mine. But yeah, I need to take product photos of those. They'll be available on my Pop Shop live show on November 8th with Oddment and Tweak and Thompson Ors and Laser Brain Patch Co. and a bunch of really cool vendors that I've met over the years at conventions. Oh, also, I've been making beaded necklaces, mostly for myself, but I figured I'd make some extras in case people wanted to buy them. So these might end up being in my shop at some point. This one has like little droopy flowers and mushrooms and leaves and stuff on it. So that's pretty fun. They're like fairy themed friendship bracelets. Where's the other design? Oh. And then this one has like another little droopy flower and some little raindrops on it. I thought that they were cute. I have like a whole spreadsheet with all the prices for all of the beads that I found so that every time I bead a design, I can calculate how much money it cost me to make it, which was a project because I didn't know what to charge for them. I'd never made that sort of thing before, but that was pretty fun. So that's been one of the things I've been working on. I just thought they were cute and I wanted to wear them. So I thought I would make them for myself and then also for others, which is kind of a approach that I like to go for because it's fun. It's fun making things that you like. And then it's also fun to get to share them with other people. So happy that all of you are here and interested in whatever I'm making. And yeah. So it's good timing to be able to hop on here and say hello because I've got more and more things coming together. And hopefully I don't have like a schedule for these sorts of lives, but I'll pop on whenever I'm in the mood to kind of make something on camera and show you the process behind it and answer some questions about it. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm glad that all of you are here. I also relate to the Anxious Little Sprout. That's probably why I started making them. Also, to me, I feel like so many plush dolls are just kind of in a neutral position or are smiling, and the idea of making ones that are a little grumpy or sad is kind of exciting to me. I think they're so cute. I'm really into the grumpy jelly cats. So we have like a toad that just looks so mad. He just does not look happy, and something about that just makes me laugh so much. I was like, I need to make some grumpy face plush dolls, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Part of the challenge with stuffing these little guys is making sure that stuffing gets into all of the little limbs. So like that time I did it and one of the legs didn't have enough stuffing. So I'm gonna go back and add more stuffing to that little leg.
Rohit, I'm playing a demon level, so don't hear me screaming.
Yeah, maybe less of the screaming when you're playing your video game. People are gonna be so confused. Yeah. But I love the individual variation with this sort of a project. Even though I'm using the same pattern for all of them, they all come out a little different because I am making them myself. I use a sewing machine for like the body shape, and then most of the rest of this is done by hand. And it takes a little while, but I like making it, like I'll make a whole bunch at once. So I just am doing, like I just attached all the faces earlier in this stream, and now I'm stuffing them all one at a time. That way there isn't too much changing between steps. Saves me a little bit of time, because I do want to try and make them as quickly as I can while still making an interesting product, because I want to keep them relatively affordable for people. Because I also cannot really afford art right now, which is a bummer, because I love buying art. I love buying cute things that people make, supporting artists. Oh, there was a leaf in that that pile of stuffing. I don't know how that got there.
Let me see.
Here, this is the, here, do you want it? This is the leaf that was in the stuffing.
Show it to the viewers.
I did. Show it to the viewers.
Show it to the viewers.
Ah. Cool. So Kay is asking, do you have any easy crafts you recommend? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So it depends what you like to do. One tricky thing with starting new crafts is that it can be kind of expensive. I find that a lot of times when I want to try a new art medium or a new type of craft, I end up buying a lot of supplies and then not actually ever making the thing, or making it once and then realizing I don't like it. So starting with something that doesn't cost a lot of money to start can be kind of helpful, because then at least you can see what kinds of things you like, and then if you want to, you can invest more in getting supplies for that. So somebody the other day was talking about how embroidery is a really good one to start with, because you don't need a lot of supplies to just get started. So really all you need for that are like embroidery needles, which are big enough to fit embroidery thread through the eye, and then embroidery thread, which comes in like 6 strands usually, and you can split it into smaller strands if you want to. So if you end up wanting to sew with this, you can like split it apart and use only one thread if you want to. This took me forever to learn how to do because it gets all tangled up. But yeah, you can use the thick strands and also the thinner strands, so it's very versatile. And those are usually like $1 or $2. I've also found them at thrift stores. I found like old embroidery thread in thrift stores, like whole bags of them that people were getting rid of, which is really great. We also have a creative reuse center here, which is like a thrift store specifically for craft supplies, which is amazing. If you live near Rhode Island or Massachusetts, is the Creative Reuse Center of Rhode Island in East Providence. And I love it there, not just for buying supplies, but also for donating supplies, because sometimes I have things that are taking up a lot of space in my house. And so when I moved, I needed to get rid of a lot of things. And so I dropped off tons of bags of fabric and yarn and just things that I knew that I probably would not use again. I was keeping it when I had space for it, but I didn't want to throw it away because I spent money on it, but knowing that other artists could buy it for not a lot of money made me feel a little better about passing that on. Yeah, Jack also got embroidery floss at thrift stores. Yeah, I've gotten so much of it. So that's a good one to look for. The other thing about embroidery is you can buy fabric. They usually have like different types of embroidery fabric or cross-stitch fabric in the aisle with the embroidery thread when you go to a craft store to buy it. But the other thing you can do too is learning to embroider on like a t-shirt, or you could use fabric that you have around. Like I've seen a lot of people who will like buy a sweatshirt like this that's plain and embroider designs on it. You probably should get some kind of embroidery hoop, but those are not expensive either. Maybe $1 or $2 depending on how big they are. You can get little ones for not that much money. They're inexpensive enough that sometimes I will embroider and just leave the hoop on it and buy a new hoop next time, because it makes a nice little frame for your artwork. But yeah, if you're embroidering on your clothing, you can just use whatever fabric you have around, or you can buy a little bit of fabric. And usually embroidery, it's pretty small, so you don't need a lot of fabric in order to make it look interesting. So yeah, that's a good one. There are also a lot of free resources online for that. You can take classes, you can download designs, you can make up your own designs. You can also buy kits for that too. So I know a lot of embroidery artists, you can buy like just the thread colors that you need, the needle, the fabric, the hoop, and the instructions, all in a little package. Or you can find that kind of thing online and just kind of trace your own designs that you find. If you're not selling them, then you can like learn on other people's designs, and then I recommend doing your own designs if you end up wanting to sell them at some point, because you don't want to sell things that don't belong to you. That's important. Yeah. I know there's probably more of a jump for most people to learning how to make a craft and actually selling that craft. But for me, it's how I afford to buy more supplies. So, yeah, it's a good time. It's fun. I like embroidery. Another craft that you could do, so if you learn how to do embroidery, you can also do like plushie making, because it's like the next jump up. This is definitely something that costs more money though, because the fabrics are different. But you can use felt. So felt is a really inexpensive, easy to find fabric at most craft stores, and you can buy it in small sheets. Like this type of fabric, I had to buy a whole bunch of it in order to make it worth it for the cost. So using felt for projects is a fun one. Also paper crafts, I feel like are really accessible and approachable for people. If you're not super into the like sewing type or textile type projects, getting like colorful paper and glue and scissors, you can cut out all kinds of different shapes. You can make cards, you can make like collage art also is a cool one. That doesn't cost a lot of money to start, and there are a lot of really fun artists online that have classes that you can take or YouTube videos about how to do it. Honestly, there are a lot of YouTube videos that are just fun and relatively easy craft tutorials. So I would say try to watch those and see which ones jump out at you, because they're really fun to see like the process of how they work out. And a lot of times I just watch the videos of YouTube tutorials and don't ever end up making that type of thing, but I've also learned how to do a lot of stuff, or at least sparked an interest in things I didn't realize I wanted to try through watching YouTube videos. I also feel like you can choose a craft based on what types of things you already like doing. So I've seen a lot of really interesting, like, if you like thrifting or going to antique stores, you can turn the things that you're finding into something new, based on like, you can either fix it up or you can paint it or turn it into something else. I've seen some interesting thrift flips, and you can definitely get a lot of ideas for those on YouTube. They're pretty fun, but because it's thrifted, you don't know what you're gonna find. So what the person in the video found and what you might run into at a thrift store might be completely different. But those are pretty fun as well. That's something I would like to get more into, because I have been thrifting and going to antique stores and things like that. In the last year or two, I've been going treasure hunting and finding some cool things. And so yeah, that you can turn all kinds of cool things into stuff. Or just, you know, upcycling. Some people try to sell those too. Some people just keep them. I don't know. I was following a creator on TikTok who was painting teeny tiny little things on furniture that she owns, because she was renting and she wanted to paint her walls, but she couldn't. So she was just painting like little leaves and flowers and mushrooms and things on like the corners of furniture, which I thought was really cute and fun. And I've been learning painting a little bit more. That's one of the crafts and art mediums that's a little bit out of my comfort zone, and so I've been trying to push myself to paint things, usually in sketchbooks. I haven't gotten the confidence to paint furniture, or paint designs on furniture. I could paint furniture a new color if I wanted to. That's something that I could do, but I also haven't, because the bigger it is, the more intimidating I feel like it is. I don't know. Small crafts are a good place to start because they don't take up a lot of space. So I don't know. I'm one of those people that likes learning how to do new things, so I'm excited by the idea of picking up new craft skills. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like paper crafts and embroidery are really good places to start. Yeah. Follow that inspiration and just, I don't know, see where it takes you. You can also kind of see what you have around too. Like there's some cool stuff you can make with like the thinner chipboard cardboard that is like in cereal boxes. So I have some tutorials on my channel where I made some things out of, like built little mostly desk organizers out of recycled cereal boxes. So yeah, I've definitely been into using what I have these days because I can't afford to buy a whole lot of new art supplies. But luckily, the past me stocked up on a lot of things that I never tried. So I'm working my way through some things that I bought in past years. And that Creative Reuse Center has been helping a lot too. Sometimes it's fun to go there and just let the crafty thrift store tell me what to make. Kind of way I used to let the craft store, like the regular craft store, tell me what to make. The big box craft stores are great for getting inspiration if you want to try making something. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to make stuff. I love journaling. That's another, I kind of consider that a craft because it's turned into an art form for me. Just finding interesting ways to document what I did that day. And so I really love keeping little bits of paper from places that I go. So if I get like a pamphlet or a ticket stub or a sticker or something like that while I'm out and about and traveling or just having a fun day, I can then come home and paste that into my journal. And so that's fun for me because I can look back at fun days, which helps because I've been having a rough go of it lately, and so to focus, have a.
I cried today.
You cried today, yeah. Sometimes it's okay to, it's okay to cry. It's okay to let our emotions out in a constructive way. How expensive are the art supplies? Curious about the prices. So that varies hugely depending on what you're looking to buy and also where you're going to get it. So, hello! Someone new just came in. Thanks for saying hi in the chat, the Phantom Butterfly. Yeah, so I feel like I can get embroidery floss at a craft store for like $1.50 or $2 or so. Less if I can find a coupon. Sometimes they have sales where you can buy a bunch. But I've also bought like a whole bag for $1 at a thrift store before. So that's lucky if you can find that. And then that thrift store, it's so awesome. The thrift store that I go to, the Creative Reuse Center that I've been to a bunch of times, was charging $1 a pound for craft supplies. So I would go in with like a huge tote bag. Hi, Willow. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. And then I go and I fill up a bag with random things that I thought were fun, beads, cool garbage, like fun containers that somebody didn't want to throw out and thought, I'll bring this to a Creative Reuse Center. Somebody will make something out of it. And then they just you put it on a giant scale and then they charge you $1 a pound. And it's awesome. It's just like, I go there to donate things because I need more space, and then I end up buying more. So yeah, if you can find a Creative Reuse Center near you, I don't know how many of them there are, but we have one near me, and then one like an hour away that I've been to called Make and Mend in Boston. That's a cool one. I found those on Instagram. Honestly, I didn't know where to go to look for that sort of thing, and then through following local artists that live around me that I found going to art markets, I learned about that place, which has been great. Just a really cool thing for me as somebody who is trying to save money for living expenses. I don't know. I definitely am very inspired by buying new art supplies, and it's been an exercise for me to try not to buy new ones. But like, for example, I bought these fabrics for these little guys ages ago, probably 5 years ago now. And there were colors that I used up, and I wanted to buy more of the colors that I was using most often, but to try and save money, I've been trying to come up with designs that are in the colors I didn't use as much, because I still have backup fabrics from years ago. So yeah, I don't know. It's been kind of an exercise for me to figure out what I can make with what I have so that I don't have to buy more supplies until I like sell these, for example. So we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, here's how the little pile is coming along. These are all stuffed. Next step, once I get them all stuffed, is to sew up the little hole that I'm stuffing them through which is probably where I'll stop the live stream because I feel like that part is less interesting. And then I can do little embroidery on the faces and sew the faces on and they'll be done. I also have really been wanting to make these little guys with little mushroom hats. Do like little mushroom sprites. So that's been on my list of things to make next. I feel like that'll be really cute. But I keep telling myself I can't start those until I finish these. So it's good that they're getting close to the end of the process here. I have like a box over here of ones that I started that I didn't finish. Phantom Butterfly says, sometimes working with limited supplies pushes me creatively and I make unexpected stuff. Yeah, that's definitely, in some ways that's been helping, and other ways it's making it, I'm feeling a little bit more stuck. But for example, I've been trying to learn how to paint for years. It's something that's definitely intimidated me, and so I have a lot of paint that I never used, and so I've been like going through paint supplies that I bought ages ago and never tried because I was too intimidated. I was just intimidated, just confident enough to buy the supplies, but too intimidated to actually use them, or I used them once and wasn't happy with the result and then stopped. But I know from past experience with these that you may not be good at something right away. So it's important to keep working at it even if you don't like the results. So that's something I've been working on for a really long time, is like working up the courage to keep trying with creative supplies and things. And that's been, yeah, that's helped a lot. Just like reminding myself that things aren't going to be good right away. And one of the reasons why that is challenging for me, not just because of perfectionism, but because I supported myself for a really long time on selling things that I'm making. And if I start making something new and I feel like it's not good enough to sell, or it's not in my brand enough for me to sell, I stop doing it, because then I feel like I have to go back to things that I can sell so that I can continue to pay bills. So that can be a challenge, just as somebody who has been trying to monetize my creative work for 20 years now. But I do want to get better at new things. I do want to keep growing and changing, and you never know if you're going to be good at something if you don't put in the effort to become good at that thing. So I'm trying to balance it. I'll like work on these for a day and then I'll go and do some paintings. And eventually the hope is that I'll spend enough time on all of the things to be good enough at it to be able to, to be able to feel like I can spend time on it. Actually, I made a Instagram reel about this recently, and I think I did a short on YouTube as well, but I've been trying to draw people. That's been like the holy grail for me. I've really wanted to be able to draw people, and it's something that I would do for a little while and then not be happy with the results, and then I'd stop, or some other, more realistically, another craft project took over. And so I recently have been trying to draw specifically a self-portrait of me, whether it's a silly one or a good one or something, every night before I go to bed. And I am like 36 days in, which is wild to me, because I don't know, I tried doing it for a really long time and just wasn't happy with how it was coming out and didn't put in the effort to make it better. And so if you want, I can show you that sketchbook. I'll go grab it right now. BRB. This, you can hang out with these little guys while I go grab that from across the room. Whoop. Working in an A6 size seems to be the like sweet spot for this. It's not too small, but it's also not too big. And I'm gonna start with the good ones. So like, this is a spread that I particularly enjoyed. There's some gender feels happening here. But one day, the next day. So this is kind of weird. They've been landing lately, where I like write about a feeling or something that I did that day, how I'm doing.
Hey.
Hello, welcome back.
Just to know, I'm playing Doors on the game Doors on my iPad.
Oh yeah, is that on Roblox?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's where they're ending up. But when I started, they looked like this. which is not bad. It's just very inconsistent. Like every day I was basically drawing in a different style. And I kind of had to decide which direction I wanted to run in with this. Did I want them to look more like this? Did I want them to look more like that? And I kind of ended up with a totally new style. Actually on day 3, I was mad and I drew that, and I love that little guy. Like, how heckin' weird looking and cute is that? So that's kind of where I started running forward. And so I was trying different noses. This day I just drew a blob instead of my body because I felt like a blob that day. And I would just keep going. And sometimes I did like little heart eyes, and I don't know, I tried lots of different things. It probably took me the longest to figure out the noses, and now I'm kind of working on body proportions because, like, I don't need them to be especially realistic, but I do want them to be recognizable as me. This was a fun one. That's like a bird's eye view of me knitting. I've been knitting again, which is wild because it's been like maybe 10 years. I used to love knitting and crocheting, and then I stopped for a while, and now I'm doing it again. But yeah, they're starting to look more and more consistent, which is very exciting because I didn't think that I could do that. I feel like I kept trying. This is another spread that I really love. This was a couple weeks ago. My friend Autumn came to visit me, and we played music together, and we went to go see Olivia Dolphin's release party show in Providence. And so, yeah, there are some fun ones in here. And then some days I'm just having a, like, kind of meh day. There's my cat. And some days I'm doing good. And so I just kind of, depending on how I'm feeling, I, like, just draw it out before I go to bed at night. Oh, yeah, the sideways noses are starting to get better. Yeah, so this is just, like, a really, like, I knew if I drew myself every day for 40 days that I would get better. And the problem was...
Oh my God, that's so cute.
The problem was that I was not sticking with it long enough to end up seeing any improvement, and now I am. So that's pretty exciting. This was yesterday's, like last night before I went to bed. And yesterday ended up being a really good day. So I like listed a bunch of really great things. I went for a walk with Olivia, got my bangs trimmed, got a new nose ring. We've got a hoop in there now, which is a very exciting thing for me. That took 6 months before they were like, yeah, I think it's ready. I've been watching Agatha all along. I went to a cafe and I was kind of painting. I drew with some Tombow markers, and then I re-wetted it with a water brush, and that turned out really cool. So yeah. Was that all the things I did yesterday? Oh, I took a shower. I noted that I took a shower because it was great. Some days it's the little things, you know? So yeah, this was a really good, I don't know what it was about this particular exercise, but I was able to stay consistent with it, and we'll see how much longer I can keep up with it. I'm just gonna keep doing it. I actually was thinking about starting Inktober, and then I remembered I've been doing this since the beginning of September, and I'm still going. So I'll just keep up with this. I don't need more like daily habit forming drawings, I don't think, but that's been wild for me because this was the hardest thing for me to do. I was trying since I was a kid to figure out how I wanted to draw people. And it's not just that I wanted to get good at drawing people, it's that I just wanted a style that I could stick with, that I could be consistent with, that made me feel confident and made me happy with what I was making. I just wanted to I think I described this the other day in an Instagram comment as the little cartoon version of Lizzie McGuire, but me. I just wanted to be able to, I don't know, draw my own little comics. And if I'm feeling a certain way and I don't, lately I've been like, when I'm stressed out or anxious, I haven't been wanting to write about it in my journal, and that used to be a way that I would get those feelings out and feel better about them. But I just really don't even want to write about what I'm feeling. But there's something about drawing a little frowny face on a cute little cartoon that looks like me, and like the way that helps me feel better has been serving me in a way that journaling in the traditional sense hasn't been lately. So this has been really fun, and I don't know how long I'll keep up with it, but I've been enjoying that. Yeah, so thanks for listening to that. I'll keep posting about this on Instagram for sure. Maybe if I do another stream, I'll give you an update on it if you want to see how it's going. I've just been really, like, I will just, every time I draw one, I go and I flip back to the beginning and I can see how far I've come, and it's just like really exciting for me. I can also draw quicker now. I used to, even the ones that came out really good in the early days took me much longer than they do now because I've had so much practice. Like, I know I always start with the glasses because they kind of allow me to put the rest of my face where it belongs. I always like, I don't know, when I got bangs, I felt like I felt like more of a cartoon character. Drawing the bangs is like my second favorite part after the glasses. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad that you're all here. Do you want to say goodbye? Come say goodbye with me. Bye.
No.
No. No.
And then this was the funny singing guide to llama.
Bye. It was so good to see you.
Bye.